How do humans do facial recognition and how do computers do? Are we any different from computers? Most people think humans are very unique. We do facial recognitions in a very different way than the machine. The machine typically needs to see tons of training data, more than million of training data to be able to recognize humans' faces. And most people assume that humans only need to see a couple of people's faces, then they will be able to recognize a lot more people's faces. Is this assumption true? That's what we're going to discuss today. By the way, if you would like to receive more machine learning, AI related videos like today, don't forget to subscribe. So humans are usually very proud of our capability to recognize other people's faces, which we are doing reasonably well. But is it because of we are like innately really good at that, or just because we have seen a lot of data for certain human beings, so it's really easy to recognize? So these pictures, I'm showing you how many different people are there in this picture. You have 5 seconds to think. 2, 3, 4, 5. So how many? More than 10? More than 5? More than 20? The answer is 2. There are only 2 people, 2 different people in this picture. These pictures are Dutch politicians. And, scientists actually did these experiments to people who are outside of Dutch, outside of Netherlands. And the average answer for these pictures, how many people are there, are 7.5 people. People guess 7.5 people on average in this picture. So people apparently couldn't recognize people's faces if they don't know them, if they don't know those people already. So it turns out the reason we can recognize people so well is just because we have seen them a lot, right? We have seen them we know them. We have seen their faces for more than like 10 hours. We know those people, so we can recognize them. When we don't know that, we also have hard time recognizing them. For example, in this picture, most people have hard time to recognizing there's only 2 people there. And people saying, oh, maybe that's unfair because the image quality is bad. It's actually not. They also show this picture to Dutch people, and Dutch people just, so why are you talking about? There are just two people in this picture. They can answer these questions very easily. Why? Because they know those 2 politicians, because they're very famous in the Netherlands. So this is just a pretty typical example that humans are actually not as good as recognizing people's faces as we thought. The facial recognition, our facial recognition system is just not as good as we thought. The reason we are so good at that is because we know those people. We already have tons of training data. Imagine when you definitely are very good at recognizing your classmates, your family members. The reason is because you're hanging out with them every day, every single day. Every day you see your classmates, 8 hours. Every day you see your parents, your dad, your mom, more than 4 or 5 hours a day, and you see that like 24 hours, 24/7 when you are younger. There's a reason you can recognize them. Okay, so this is really not fair for machine. So you're saying we actually feed machine a lot of images to recognize that, but like even 1,000, 10,000 of images, are there, in terms of amount of data, are they really more than 10 hours of seeing some other people in person? Probably not. So this just tells you one thing. Maybe the current machine learning system is not that bad in terms of facial recognition, and humans' brains just not that spatial. So that's something that I want to tell you. And if you would like to receive more videos, machine learning related videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. Other than that, I will see you next time.